Good afternoon. Welcome to Church of Chug today. I'm Ice Queen Brews, and we're going to touch on the topic today of politically correct beers and breweries and beer cans and beer art. So if you guys want to go ahead and start introduce yourself and what you're chugging today. Go ahead, Ricky.
What's up, guys? Ricky with the good beer here. I'm going to be chugging this thing called Sprinkles from our good folks at Tribus. Thanks to my buddy, Beer Lover. 6.6% coconut orange pastries. We'll see what it's like. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, hi, guys. I'm being right here being guest today. Ricky gave me a Drowned Lands Founders Session.
Nice.
Session.
Session.
Who's up?
Craft Wet today.
So Craft Wetness here, and I picked up this Mexican lager from Foundation Brewing Company. It's called La Luz, and it's a key lime in it. And I tasted a little bit. Pretty light, pretty good.
I've had that one. That was good.
Yeah.
That's a good that sounded pretty good, bro. I go to so you were Spanish. La Luz.
Mm-hmm. La Luz.
Who's next? Who's in line? Wait, Ice Queen, your microphone is off.
You're muted.
Horrible
Get your
today.
shit together.
I said Drunky Monkey 3 times, but you didn't hear me. What do you got?
Well, now I'm up here in your mirror.
Yes.
So Drunken Monkey here. I got Nepenthe Brewing. It's a collab with RAR. This is a long one. It's a Cosmic Quartz Banger. It's a double IPA with terpenes. It's a double IPA with Granddaddy Purple terpenes, hopped and double dry hop with Mosaic Incognito, Cryo and Pellets, Idaho 7 Cryo and Pellets, Strata Pellets, and fermented on Omega's Cosmic Punch yeast.
We got
on the can.
Little side note, we got to talk about that because I've seen so many people with terpenes in their beers lately.
Yeah.
It's going to be a...
Terpenes and Phantasm are like the two that I'm seeing added in a lot of beers lately.
Beer Lover, what do you got today?
I am going to be chugging other half double mosaic Daydream Imperial Oat Cream, double IPA, 8.5%.
That's a lot of words.
And finally, you, Sam.
And I'm gonna get rid of these because I've had them for a while. Ricky's probably like, damn it. I got still a Morphia anniversary sour dipper. So here's to that.
As soon as they get to your house,
Right.
yours, I don't care what to do with them.
I know. My other one, I still got an amulet too. Here we go. All right. So you guys ready to chug?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Rich, why don't you count us down?
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
Good to be back with you guys. Glasses up. 3, 2, 1. Cheers.
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 Cheers, fam.
Wow. I don't know how these people do it, man. That is such good beer.
Earth has begun.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
Let's
All
give our
right, so
cruisers
we're
up.
gonna get on to our topic today, and we're gonna discuss all of the buzz that we've been seeing for several different breweries, and about being politically correct. You know, is beer a place for being politically correct? Is it not? And then really just to see how you guys feel about can art being politically correct, and we're going to go through and talk about our cruisers first. All right, Beer Lover, what do you got today? I'm going to go backwards. Beer Lover, what do you got today for your cruiser?
I have a 450 North, which is actually a hazy IPA, which nobody really hears about. This is 8 Serpentine quadruple dry hopped IPA coming in at, I believe it says 10%. Yep.
I'm
10%.
surprised you're drinking 450, to be honest.
Right? Me too.
Well,
Very surprised.
and I've said this before. They're very underrated with their IPAs. They make really good IPAs, but nobody wants to know about that. So
I was just gonna say 450 makes IPAs.
yeah.
I know.
Yep, they make really good ones.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
I really, never thought about
All right,
that.
Drunken Monkey, what are you cruising on today?
So another local Maryland brewery, Oliver Brewing. This one's called Hop Ambitions. It's a double IPA, Mosaic, Incognito, Citra, and Galaxy. And I'm using this glass for Ice Queen. Ricky Williams, Stiff Arm in a New York Jet, Darrell Revis.
You can hate on Revis all you want, but he's a good player. You can't deny that. You can't deny him that.
Okay.
All right. I think Craft Wetness is next.
So I always get this feeling when I hop on with the church. So I got this fresh vibes from Beer Tree.
Nice.
And it's a New England style IPA with Mosaic, Idaho, Azaka, and Strata. 7.1%.
You got that out there? Or
I was about to say, how did you get that can out there? Did you trade with somebody?
Tavor, baby.
Who?
Tavor.
Tavor.
Oh, Tavor.
Did I say it right? Or you got to say it with an accent?
Tavor. Tavor.
And do you actually get a subscription?
It's so underrated out here. It's like, I don't know why.
Not a subscription.
Have they sent you free beers before?
No, I'm not a hot chick, so I don't get free beers.
Right? Right.
Anyway.
Oh,
is that politically correct?
Not one of us got one of those new air refrigerators.
So Sam,
Sam's going to get one soon.
How many beers have you paid for from Tavor?
Me?
I think I've only paid for one box. I think I did pay for one box. 10.
You know what? I think we can use that as a topic. Tavor or not to Tavor.
We could.
We'll say that. We'll put that on the shelf.
The social media people reached out to me. Like, what am I going to say? No to free beer?
No, good for you. No, we all want to monetize. We all want the free. Right? So I appreciate that you got it. Good for you.
Yes. That's why I was shocked when Duclaw reached out to me and said they want to send me beer. I was like, okay.
It's nice. Oh, yeah.
Take everything you can.
Yeah.
You're young.
And Ricky, what are you guys cruising on over there?
All right, so I got one of these. It's an older can. It's from last year, but it's one of the other half Freaky Friday joints. This one's from this is their version of the Veil and Cloudwater. It's called Chubbles.
All right.
It's kind of old, but it's still pretty tasty. So, and what you got, brother?
I got Tank Space by Previous Beer.
Okay.
It has 7% with a Citra, Ruwaka, and Mosaic.
And I think that's one of their staple beers. Like I think we've all reviewed it together one time.
Thanks, yeah, that's a solid beer.
That's definitely a rotational beer, sure. And I dig it. That's a good one. I like it a lot.
Yeah. That's of course thanks to the homie over here.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I refer to Ricky and JJ as the craft drinking mafia. No, the Mexican craft beer mafia. I refer to those two as that. So let's dig into the topic. What we found out, what we're going to think about the stuff that's coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
Give everybody sorry, go ahead, Sam. I didn't go ahead.
I was just gonna say, definitely, I think all had our fair share of checking out what these different breweries are doing. We don't really have to look for it these days. It's kind of like brought to everyone's attention now. There's different pages that are on Instagram that will actually call you out for things, and the word gets around. I know the recent one that went around was Adroit Theory, which I was a little upset about because that's one of my favorite breweries. But them talking and glorifying serial murders. I can't remember which one it was.
Ramirez, right?
Yeah, I think it was Ramirez. Gacy, Kepper, and Dahmer. Those are the four that they're showcasing, celebrating, whatever you want to call it. I'm totally interested in what Rich's thoughts are on this because he's the resident Adroit Theory poster boy for that beer.
I was kind of surprised, but not really. I was surprised they took that step. like to go into like the reality realm, because they're more of like a metal background kind of brewery, you know, metal music and really dark imagery. Like they did a whole series on cannibalism, but all the images were like art images, like they were fake, you know, they were fictional type of stuff. And to now step over the line into nonfiction, real murderers that have, you know, impacted people's lives. I think it's a step too far. I think it's a little insensitive. I appreciate their dark can art and the stuff that they do. Their beers are freaking phenomenal. There's no questioning that. Their beers are unbelievable. Their can art, I've always loved their can art, but I think this may be just kind of a step too far. It may be just a little insensitive to, you know, the people impacted by those murders, especially the fact that it's not like a one-time thing. These murderers were like serial murderers. They touched many, many families. Many people were impacted by them when they were on their sprees, so to speak. So I think it may be a little insensitive.
A little. I mean, there's still people that are related to their victims walking. There's still people that, I mean, like especially Dahmer, Ramirez. I mean, these are well within, at least in my time frame, because they have grandchildren that are walking around that were victims to these people. So there is a bit of an insensitivity thing. But I will say this: I was not aware of all of the can art and all of their background. The only kind of beers that I ever had from them was what I got from Rich, and they were that kind of like, you know, Cobra Kai type of like like
G.I. Joe.
The G.I. Joe. Yeah. Those are the only ones that I had, and again, they're great. But when I did more research and I saw what they had as far as the cans, it's very dark. It's very like demonic, very almost like borderline satanic, you know, evil. So I can understand where they're coming and from the that area, but again, it still lacks sensitivity as far as like, you know, using those characters. I still think Eileen Wuornos got the shaft.
I mean, they had this one, that cannibalism series. I think it was like 7 cans, maybe 8 cans. They had one, and I think Rick, you remember, pointed it out to me, like where these people were all sitting at a table, and there was a human on the table, like a pig, like a stuffed, like, you know, typically like a stuffed pig with an apple in its mouth. It was a person, and they were all around the table dressed up like suits and, you know, dresses and everything, like getting ready to feast on this person. But it was, you know, it's fictional, and it's dark, and it's, you know, it's like, holy crap, like you really put that on a can, but it was fictional. And to now kind of step across that line into reality where actual lives were impacted by these specific individuals, and you're putting their faces on the can with a bar across their eyes with their name, it is definitely kind of a step too far.
Yeah. And to piggyback on that, like for as far as comments go, it was surprisingly like 50-50. People offended, and then there were people who were all for it. So that goes to show you like everybody in this world is fucking different, and they're into the dark side, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not saying that it's okay, but you know, it probably take it too far.
Right, so then to piggyback off you, that means if it's 50-50, then there, I guess, in some sense, there is room to be politically incorrect in craft beer, because really that's the topic if we're going to be politically correct about things. Is that a politically incorrect thing to do? I mean, like who are we to say? It could be judged as artistic, which none of us can actually really have an opinion on it, because if it's artistic, then it's subjected to anybody's interpretation. Right. But if you're offended by it, then, you know, like where's the line drawn?
Right. Yeah. And I think go ahead, Ricky.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I think that, you know, especially recently, like you look on, you know, Netflix and Hulu and any of these like streaming networks, there's a lot of like true crime and investigative and documentaries about inside the criminal mind. And it's very interesting. But when you just put something like that out of context, it almost looks as if you're glorifying it instead of like researching the history and understanding like what this person did and why they did it and stuff, to just put their face on a can with no context, it can be viewed in, you know, both sides. It can be viewed as, oh, well, they're just putting this person out there because they like true crime type stuff. But it could also definitely be viewed as glorifying a very, very sick person who impacted many, many, many lives. So
right.
It's a very, very thin line, I think.
Yeah, and for those of you who've actually read the comments, you know they have lost people.
Oh yeah.
From what
definitely,
I've read,
for sure.
They have lost. I mean, I personally wouldn't. I actually posted, if I have a trader, don't give me one of those cans. I don't want one of those cans. I really don't.
Right.
If there was not that association of a serial killer with it, I'd love to try it. But just for the mere fact that is like that, I'd rather it not be the case and not have me promote it as far as buying into it. So,
right. And the fact that there's people that like it, so they won't look at all the negative comments, or not negative, but like people saying, oh, you shouldn't do this. They could looking towards the people who's buying their shit. So we're going to keep it there.
Oh, there are people that are going to buy it and not even open the can.
Yeah, that's why they're
just going to keep that
that's
can.
why,
just never open it. It's going to be on the shelf. But you know, I remember, like, you know, and I mentioned this to Ricky. There was when they had like defund the police, Bronx Brewery. They caught shit for that because it was in bad taste. It wasn't politically correct. There was another can of beer that had the red bandana and the blue bandana, and I forgot. I think it was called "What Hood Are You In?" And I don't remember the brewery, but they pulled that out because it was the Blood Crip type of thing. And again, it's kind of like, it's not PC. It's you know, and they made the decision to pull it because they knew, like, they stepped on their own dick. Same thing with Bronx Brewery. They pulled the cans for defund the police because it's if you're looking to sell a product in the craft beer or anything, the last thing you want to do is like make the fault of like being on the out.
Right.
So I guess this falls under the guise of being on the out for only half the people, because as Wetness said, half the people were like thumbs up and half the people were like, sorry, we're stepping away, we're not buying your product anymore. So again, it falls under, is it artistic or is it politically correct? So
that's a tough one, because like you were saying, Al, is it an artistic view? Craft beer on its own is an artistic outlet. It's something, right? So sometimes brewers are like, fuck it, it's my beer. I want to do whatever I want with it. I'm gonna put whoever the fuck I want on the label. Sure. And true followers of that brewery will probably just be like, oh shit, that's cool, or that's whatever, and then still buy the beer. It's the other folks that get that it's a tough one for me, because I appreciate the craft of it. I appreciate the fact that you can go out and do that. You know what I'm saying? As a creative and as a creative outlet, but I also understand the sensitivity of the situation. Of course, you know, like we've been saying, there are families affected by this, and you know, and the mass murders and stuff like that. But my other thing that I wanted to bring up was politics too. Politics themselves. Like I've seen a few breweries also bring up politics, and it's kind of divided the same way. Like they will lose a ton of people just because they decide to, like, hey, listen, we're affiliated with so and so, or like Republican or Democrat or whatever. Those breweries that had those cans with Trump on them. And,
so you're talking about the Nightmare Brewing.
That was one of them, yeah. But there was another one in Chicago called Five Rabbits.
Five Rabbits. Yes.
Yeah, because the can was called Chinga
tu pelo.
Chinga tu pelo, and it was like you know, Trump's.
I remember that. Yes.
I know what Chinga means. So
yes.
So you definitely know who they're associated with, or who they're affiliated with, right? Would that still stop people from buying the beer? I don't know.
That's still 50-50.
Yeah, again, but now here's the thing with the Nightmare one. That one can, that artist lost his job. He had absolutely the brewer, the owner, I think his name was Jonathan, was like, I'm not having this. You created a can that art, and it was Joe Biden before he was president holding up Nancy Reagan, as Nancy Reagan was hanging a swastika on a BLM sign.
Wow. The thing is this, though, you have a business and your can art, you're choosing what goes on your can. So how are you holding the artist responsible for that? No. And that's my thing, is like, you allowed it. If you didn't and someone else did, that's your fault. That's not the artist's fault.
I think technically it never made it onto the can. It made it onto the it never made it onto the cans.
It never made it onto the can. And I believe he gave this guy artistic freedom to do his can art. Because I mean, if you know, and going back to like whether things are like, you know, politically correct or, you know, or visually appealing, like Nightmare, everything that they have is torture. All of their cans are branded with historical torture. For this guy to do his interpretation of what art was going to be, the owner of Nightmare was like, sorry, can't have you here anymore. We're done.
Yeah, I honestly feel, looking at it from that point of view, if that was my brewery and the artist came with me with that, I would have just said, nah, let's try something else. I wouldn't put it out there for everybody to see and bring everyone into that business. I just don't feel like what did he gain from that? You know
but but at the end of the day, you know where his mindset is, and then you're like, okay, I know what he's about. I don't want that.
Exactly, and you know,
I guess
from a business standpoint, if the owner of the, you know, brewery has an artist that clearly has a difference of opinion in politics, anybody who has difference of opinion in politics, whether you're friends, husband and wife, whatever, that's going to cause a stir. That's going to cause a little bit of an upset in the relationship. So I guess he was like, you know what, let's just call it quits.
Well, I think too, like the other thing is like, I absolutely defend the breweries who choose to do what they want with their can art. It's their art, but accept the consequences. You know, you put something offensive on there and you lose followers and you lose people that are supporting your business. That was the decision you made. Now you just got to live with the consequences. Don't turn around and be like, oh, well, this world's so PC. Like, you know the world that you're in. You understand the climate of the country that we're in and how divided we are on very, very many topics. So regardless if it's politics or police or military or, you know, life and death or religious views, you put that can art on there, understand that there may be consequences if it's a controversial issue, and you just got to live. I absolutely defend the freedom of the breweries to put whatever they want, like adroit theory. If this is what they want to do and they want to support that and run with it and not pull the cans, good on them. But understand that it is insensitive and you are very likely going to lose followers. And honestly, like when I was looking for a shirt to wear for this episode, I saw my adroit theory shirts and I was like, I don't think I want to wear them for this episode because I'm still kind of on the fence whether I'm going to continue. It's phenomenal beer, but I think that this step was, like I said, a step too far. And I'm still kind of on the fence where I'm going to outwardly show support for that brewery because of this. And I just went to their page. They haven't pulled any of their posts. It's still there.
No, they're going to keep it.
So
they haven't apologized. Nothing.
Gone.
No.
Yeah. I know why. It's because they're so well known, popular. It's like, oh, we're losing a few people. That it doesn't matter.
No, it looks like they're going to own it. But you know what? In reference to what you were saying, Rich, if you were to continue to support them, I can appreciate that. But if you were to continue to support them and said, I'm not going to support this portion of what you're doing,
right?
I can appreciate that as well. Because I like Adroit Theory. Their beer is good. I just don't want those cans in my hand because I'm not going to promote that. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. So,
right.
You know,
I think if anybody get those cans and post it, they're going to get some shit.
I think also, though, that a lot of times I think that they feel so strongly about some of the stuff that they believe that they really do not care. And they're like, if we lose those people, then great, because I don't care for them anyway. Like, bye.
Yep.
You know, and that's their mindset.
And that's one of the nice things about being craft and being, you know, artisanal is like, hey, listen, you're not gonna like everything that's out there. You're not gonna like everybody. You know what? We've been to places where there's breweries down the block. Every brewery is down the block from one another, right? So if you don't like, hey, step on to
There's
the next
another
one, dude, right?
next, yeah.
I can appreciate, like Rich said, I can appreciate the artisanal side of it. Like, hey, listen, this is our beer. We're gonna do whatever the fuck we want because, hey, you know what? We're in America and do whatever the fuck we want.
Right.
But
you know, if it falls under the Constitution, it's freedom of speech in a sense. Say what you want.
Right. It is, and artwork. You know, like.
Yeah, you were gonna say something, Sam.
My other thing was I actually looked up.
I said Sam was gonna say something, Ricky.
It's okay.
My computer was lagging a little, so I didn't see you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say art. Nobody tries to make art PC, so I feel like that's how the brewers look at it. Like they're making beer as art. The can work is art. They want to make it whatever they want, but they do have to understand their businesses also. They're not just artists.
Right.
But art doesn't fall under the category of politically correct. If anything, it falls under the category of completely unpolitically correct.
The opposite. Yes.
Yeah. It's your own artistic impression. So it's like, I don't care what you think of what the politics are. It's my interpretation of it. So it never falls under politically correct. Yep. Ricky, sorry. What were you saying?
No, I actually looked up the process to get a label approved. So there is an actual process. Like you can't just put a label on something. Like you can't just say, "Hey, artist, make this label for me and print it out, and we'll put it on the can."
Right.
The whole entire label has to go through like I don't even want to get into it because I know there's like 3 or 4 steps, but it has to go through a few people before it can get onto a can. I know that they were saying, just out of my mind, there was one part where it says there can't be any false or untrue ideas or things on the can, and it can't have anything insensitive. But some of that stuff is pretty damn insensitive. So like how did that stuff get passed through that committee? You know, like
somebody got paid off.
I don't know, every can and everything that goes on a can because it's an alcoholic beverage has to go through or has to get approved by somebody.
Right.
Is that a distribution number related to that, or is that just anything?
I think it's like a state, or is either like a state or some type of government agency that has to like, okay, this is yeah.
Because, you know, I've looked at some of the very controversial cans, and there's people that even have a problem with Raging Bitch. They have a problem with Happy Ending. Happy Endings.
So, Raging Bitch, was it Flying Dog, right?
Yes.
They also have a beer called Pearl Necklace.
Yes, they did. Pearl Necklace. There's another beer that was called Happy Endings with a geisha on it and a box of tissues.
Penny Dropper. I remember Penny Dropper being a pretty popular beer.
Yeah, Penny Dropper.
Go ahead, keep naming them.
Even some of the very famous breweries, like Stone had one called I think when the whole impeachment thing was coming on, it was called I am
impeached.
I am peached.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So like they definitely political there, but they got
it's a play on words. That's what happens, and then okay, we can do that.
But I think also a thing to keep in mind is labels sell beer. The beer could be crappy, and if it looks something like the '90s from when you were a kid or whatever, people are like, "Oh, I want it." If it looks like Friends, that Pivot beer,
right.
Things like that. It's kind of like that will sell. It doesn't matter what the beer tastes like. They just want the can.
Oh yeah, you never see tasting notes when you see those beers with those like those labels, those imaginative labels. You never see tasting notes. Just I got this beer, all this shit.
And you have people like, oh, that beer looks good. Like it's in the can still. It's gonna look good. What the fuck are you talking about? It's in the can. Why would it?
Yeah.
It's just a can. Like at Tribus, they have the juicy fruit label, and I had someone who was like, "Oh, that looks really good." I'm like, I didn't pour it out. Like, what the hell are you looking at? It looked like diarrhea water in the can, and you're like, the can looks good.
They also have the one that looks like
that's nasty.
Now they also have the one that looks like Rocco's Modern Life, the whole thing.
Modern Life.
Okay, so I want that.
Oh, is that the TV one? Is that the one with the television?
Yeah.
The what?
Okay, I don't know what Rocco's.
You're too old, bro. You don't know Rocco's Modern World.
Yeah, I'm old, bro. Listen, I just played a song on fucking on my storyboard that's from like 1978. So yeah, I'm old.
High five.
Cool.
I don't know, man. It's a weird dynamic. Like definitely like whole morning I've been thinking about this topic, and I'm like back and forth. It's like, is it okay? Is it not okay? Like, I think beer on itself is pretty much politically incorrect. Like the way during Prohibition we freaking, well, we didn't because I wasn't live, but people were sneaking this shit and drinking this around,
Right. Well, all right. Beer is steeped in the history of not being allowed to be had. Yeah. Alcohol.
We wouldn't have a Marine Corps if it wasn't for beer.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things that, like, like I said, with this whole, I don't think I'm still 50-50, dude. I don't know.
I can almost,
and I'm still like, I'm still a little iffy about it.
All right. So to put, all right, go ahead, witness.
Okay, so I can almost guarantee, like, if we tell some people, the beer community to put comments on this post when we post it, right, it's not going to be 50-50. Most people in our beer community, they're going to be against it. The rest is all these random people who's like, oh, I love it. It's not going to be people in our beer community. Probably like one or two, but right, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be 50-50.
You mean for this specific can, like the murderer one? Yeah. I think murder, not necessarily all the other ones though, not the political ones.
You know which one surprised me the most that I read?
Political ones, they'll be 50-50, yeah.
You guys know that beer, that Founder's beer, which is like breakfast. It's like a breakfast style that has a little baby on it.
Oh, baby Jesus, sweet baby Jesus.
No, not baby Jesus.
Oh. It's got a little nectar.
It's got a bib, and it's like,
yeah.
Founder's breakfast stout, yeah.
There's certain states that won't allow you to sell that beer because there's a child on the can.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I think Alabama was on the top of the list, but there's a couple other states too. But
out of all places, Alabama?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm going to put everybody on the spot. Yes or no to purchasing, putting your money into buying Murderbox? Yes or no? Ricky?
No. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that particular one? No. But adroit theory in itself, yes.
Yeah, okay, great answer. And I know Craft Witness, you said no, but would you buy adroit theory aside from that?
Yeah, they got good beer.
Monkey?
Yeah, same. I wouldn't buy that box, but I would buy their beer.
And Sam?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'll buy other beers, just not that one. I care more about how they treat their employees and stuff. I understand those cans are expensive. I'm not gonna buy the expensive cans, but I'll buy the stuff I like villains and the stuff that's not real. Yeah.
So my question is, you still support the brewery, you won't buy the murder boxes, but would you still like promote them on your Instagrams like the other good beers?
That's a great question. At this point in time, no. For me personally, no, because for me to promote anything adroit theory would to be it's a subsequent thing. I'm promoting everything behind adroit theory and everything that they have. So really, if we're going to be PC about it, no, I'm not going to support them on my Instagram and post what they have because it ties into what they're doing now. So you're not going to see that on my Instagram, but I would buy their products that don't have the offensive stuff that everybody else is kind of like, up in arms about. Rich.
And I say that with like, I wouldn't just make a post and be like, oh, this is a phenomenal beer. I love adroit theory or whatever. Right. I would put a disclaimer on if I have I'm not sure if I have one. I think I have one more in there. But if I were to make a post with an adroit beer, I would put a disclaimer in there that I don't support this particular thing, but the brewery as a whole, I do enjoy their beer and whatever, but I do not support this particular decision or this particular box or however I would word it. But I would put some type of disclaimer, whether I did an actual video or if I did just a regular post, I would put something in there to kind of throw a disclaimer out there that I support the brewery, I love their beer, but this particular decision I don't agree with.
All right, so that leads into this. If that's the case, and if you wanted to make it simple and sweet, what would be the hashtag?
That's interesting. I don't know.
I personally, for me, if I had to do this, and it would be a hashtag no serial killer. That would be my hashtag. I would post something for them, but not the Murderbox series, and just hashtag no serial killers. That would be my hashtag. Just to keep myself away from the topic.
Yeah.
So I know that we've all been talking about different like political correctness and stuff like that. So besides the beer being crap, right? What would it take for you to not support a brewery? Like, is there a type of decision besides the beer being crap? I think one is obvious, like how they treat their employees, but is there anything else like that they would do openly, whether it's their can art, whether it's, political views that they openly, support or put on their page? Like, what would be something that would cause you to not support a brewery any longer besides their beer being crap?
That's a loaded question. I can answer. I would love to answer it, but I'm going to give it to somebody else because I'll just spend the entire afternoon with that one.
My biggest thing is customer service. If your customer service sucks, then I'm not going to support you. Straight up.
Yeah.
One for me is public support of groups that are bad, that discriminate or racist on purpose. Like if you're sitting there saying, I love white nationalists and here, taste my beer, I'm going to tell you, go fuck yourself. So,
yeah.
I don't.
All right, go ahead.
That's why that's just an example. But if it's something like that, or, the people support all kinds of things and that's their prerogative, but I would not support those kind of breweries.
Sure. All right. Now, I remember like it was about 3 years ago that there was one, if not two breweries that decided against doing the Black Lives Matter beer. I will support them. I mean, for me personally, like the majority of people in craft beer, purchasers, owners, they're white people. It's hard to say that when I'm online for a beer, I'm like one of very few people that are not white. So I don't mind supporting people that are supporting everybody. And I have seen other ones that are like, there was recently a pro-gay one, pro-LGBT. Great. I'm all about the unity, all about supporting everybody and anybody because let's face it, everybody's money is the same color. We all support a certain degree breweries and stuff like that. So I don't get behind people who are, and recently that woman that was outing everybody about the sexism, I'm not going to support them either. So it should be an open field for everybody. So if you're sexist, if you're anti-gay, if you're anti-Black Lives Matter, no, I don't want to support that because craft beer is a unification. Everybody that I know is either Black, white, Spanish, female. It falls under the spectrum of a rainbow of different people.
Yeah.
So to just be out of that doesn't make any sense to me. So I wouldn't support those people. I would support people who just embrace everybody. That's it.
Right.
And sometimes that's the only control we have is where our money goes. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So if that's the only way I have to show support for or not support for things, then I'm going to use it.
Right. Right.
That's right.
So
just like they want to use their platforms, that's my platform where I spend my money.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't want my money, that's fine. I'll give it to somebody else who supports people in general of all different lives, all different walks, colors, whatever it might be. That for me is craft beer. Everybody has this unification. I have so many friends that are of different races, different variations, backgrounds, sexual genders, and orientations. Doesn't make a difference to me, man. I can have beer with anybody. And for you to like set things apart and not be part of it doesn't make any sense. So
nope, does not.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think this was it, actually. A great topic for us.
It is.
Are there any other instances that you guys can think of, like really stood out in your mind? I know adroit is the most recent. We've had some other ones, but is there any other instances that you guys were like, whoa, that's not politically correct? Like any other can labels or breweries that just don't give a shit, so that we could all know, so we could stop buying their stuff?
Another funny one. Let me just jump in. Another funny one that I found, because I was reading through, like I said, all morning I was reading in New England, what is it? New England Brewing Company, right? NEPCO.
Yeah.
In Connecticut, they have one called Imperial Stout Trooper, and I read through the whole article. Even George Lucas reached out and sent like was it one of those cease and desist orders?
Cease and desist, yeah.
Because they originally had a stormtrooper face on it. So what they did is they changed the goggles and they changed the face a little bit and made it not a stormtrooper, but similar. So then they were able to keep the can.
But what is politically incorrect about that can?
It was just because like they, they got I think they just got a bunch of nerds.
Like a copyright thing?
Stormtroopers.
Yeah. Ricky, stay off the alcohol.
They also had one called
this is non sequitur.
They also had one called Gandhi.
Yes.
Gandhi.
Oh yeah, Gandhi robot, wasn't it?
Yes, that
Gandhi
was killed.
bot?
Yes, exactly. That was what, 4, 5, 6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
They pulled that off. They can't use that anymore because there was a lot of people that were extremely offended by the fact that they're using an iconic person such as Gandhi in name.
So this would be okay because I don't know if you guys see this part Looney Tunes theme. You see it?
Yeah, the little Looney Tunes thing.
Yeah, but it's called Fresh Vibes, and I don't think nobody's gonna fucking pin your mind to that shit.
Yeah, I don't see anything that's like politically incorrect with that. Just a copyright thing, maybe. It's hard sometimes, like people don't want to see their religious artifacts on beers. Like Lost Abbey has been told before, like they don't like their stuff. Sweet Baby Jesus, like we said earlier.
Was it Lost Abbey, the one that they did with that whip beer that they had, which it was like the witch that was burning on a stake?
Yes. Right? It was a woman on a pyre. Yeah. It was a witch's wit or something like that. Yeah. Yep. People didn't like that either. I mean, I feel like there's always going to be can art and beer names that people are offended by.
Mm-hmm.
Just is what it is.
But the way social media is now, like stuff gets around and like it's gonna get around a lot faster. So there's always gonna be somebody that's gonna be offended at something, dude.
Because Facebook made everybody a candy ass. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, yeah, and cancel culture has really given people a voice to say, I don't like this shit, and then it goes from there.
Right. And like you said, it goes across your views. I mean, like some people don't support Lady Justice because they don't believe in homosexuality or whatever. So it's like justice.
Or they don't like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They might not like her, and that's why they don't like that brewery. Because I've heard a little bit of kickback about the mural and things about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and people that came up after her death and stuff, and they were like, well, so
well,
hey, we love those ladies.
Not straight,
really well, and shout out to Lady Justice. We love you.
Yes, we love that brewery.
Church does love that brewery.
All right, well, I think we're about to wrap it up. Does anybody else have anything they want to add on? If not, we can say goodbye and see you guys next week.
Yes.
Drink good beer and love each other.
Guys, like I said last time, the YouTube channel is up and running again. I'm trying to post stuff every Wednesday, so please subscribe. It doesn't mean nothing to you guys, but it means a lot to us if you just subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment on that thing so we get that algorithm going. Check out everybody on the church independently. Everybody posts a lot of good stuff. Check out the church itself. Take it away, Sam. This was your episode.
I'll just say one last thing and comment if there's something that you want to see us talk about, a beer you want us to try, or a guest you want us
definitely.
to have.
We will feed on
comment.
that.
Let us know.
We're all about the beer conversation here. So, and chugging. So there you go.
We'll definitely make an effort to try to get the beer in our hands. That way we can satisfy you.
Yes.
If you want to come on the church, if you have something interesting to talk about, we're always looking for guests.
That's right. We want you to be on Church of Chug.
Take it away, Sam.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Cheers.